Good morning, everybody. Hope everyone's having an awesome morning this morning. Good morning, Holly. Good morning, wife. Good morning, Corey. Morning, Eric from Puerto Rico. Hey, listen, I got to throw it out here to Eric. I was waiting to see you come on here. Man, way to go. Eric from Puerto Rico is the first ever managing director from Puerto Rico. So way to knock it out of the park, man. So happy for you. Can't wait to meet you here this weekend. It's going to be an awesome weekend. By the way, before I get into this, good morning, everybody. There will be no Periscope tomorrow. I will be on the plane headed to Texas when we would normally be doing this tomorrow. So, but we will pick it up Friday morning, actually, of course, from Revolution. So we'll have a short one, normal time. And I'm going to have somebody there with me, so excited to be doing that. And obviously, again, we'll have Periscopes from time to time through the event. We'll be sharing what we can, and excited to do that. So let's see. Hey, throw some hearts up if you're excited about ID Revolution. Again, I can't wait to be there. So it's going to be such a blast. All right, well, let's get into the training. I want to jump right in and run through this real quick. Let everybody get on with their day. And listen, it doesn't matter if something works in this business. What matters is it duplicatable? And that's the key. That's something that took me a while to learn, and I see some people struggle with that. So I wanted to make sure I got into that. Now, last week we talked about being the example and showing people what to do, setting obviously the right example. Now that's talking about, being plugged in and things like that. This is a different training. This is about not only setting the example and being the example and being the role model, but make sure we're doing it properly. Make sure we're doing everything duplicatable. We have to take a look at, I look at everything I do and make sure it's duplicatable. And there's a very important reason for that. Let me give you an example. Let's say we walk into a restaurant and the person that seats us, who happens to be the owner, so the owner is the host or hostess. They seat us, they take our order, they get us our drinks, and then they run back into the kitchen and they're making the food. And while that's getting started and cooking, they run back out, they're busting tables, they're taking other people's orders, they run back. By then, our food's burnt, and the whole thing just implodes because they're trying to be everything to their business instead of teaching other people to do all the different pieces of that particular business of running a restaurant. And that's a good example, I think, because a lot of people try to do that in this business. They try to be everything. Well, it's important for all of us as we progress through our growth in the business to be able to do everything, but it's not important for us to do everything. So what I do is I make sure, and I'll put it to you this way, when I leave a presentation that I'm a part of, I make sure that my business doesn't leave with me. So what do I mean when I say that? When I leave, I make sure the only thing that leaves that can't be duplicated is my story. My story is my story. Your story is your story. Everybody has their own story, and that's unique. Now, we need to bring our own personality. We need to bring our own style. That's different. But in terms of what we have a plug-and-play business. So that's why we use videos. That's why, I mean, for you to see me in front of a room going through slides, doing a presentation, that part can't be duplicated. So the videos that we have, anyone in the entire company can go to YouTube, pull up any one of our more than 100 videos that corporates put together. They do an amazing job, and they can just hit the play button. And that's what makes what we do duplicatable. So the secret, obviously, is to get people in front of 100% of that information. So exactly right, tools duplicate. Anybody can use the tools once they learn how to use them. When you learn how to push the play button, you can use the tools, right? So duplication, again, is the key. So I tell you, you guys know I've mentioned Randy Gage a lot. Of course, I mentioned Eric Worre and Jim Rohn and so many other leaders in the history of our industry. And obviously, who better than our own CEO, Logan Stout? He's amazing. So, but there was something that I heard Randy Gage train on. It's been a while actually, but it all, these things, obviously, when you listen to these, they stick with you. So it stuck with me. And when your process is duplicatable, it's a big business model. When it's not duplicatable, it's a small business model. Now, both are okay, but if you want to have a big business, what you're doing has to be duplicatable. What you're teaching has to be duplicatable. So what I mean is this. One, we don't want to reinvent the wheel. Listen, I tried to do that in the beginning. Because I didn't plug into the training, I didn't know what I was doing. Some of the parts I saw, and we're going way back now, but some of the parts I saw, I looked at, I was like, well, I don't know if I'm comfortable with that part. I don't know if I like that part. And as a result, I'm out trying to reinvent the wheel, and I'm doing things that other people maybe can't do. And I'm not saying I have any special skills, but let's say that you do. If you have a special skill, let's say you're a great presenter or a great closer, they call you the hammer or whatever, right? Because when someone gets you in front of their guests, they're in and they're done. Well, if that's the case, then when you leave, then your business just left with you, and nothing happens until you return physically to the process. That's what we have to avoid, and make sure again that by the use of the tools and making sure everything that we're doing is duplicatable, make sure that you don't have to be there. And it's really about working yourself out of a job. And you hear that comment a lot in this industry. And it's very important, because until we work ourselves out of a job by not only teaching people to do what we do by using a proven duplicatable system, and it's called a proven duplicatable system for a reason, right? Because it's proven, it works. So, so that's the importance of doing that. But again, as we teach, it's a lot of people think we teach people what to do, and that is the first step. What we do is we teach, train, mentor, model, equip, and empower. So when we empower, we're saying, here, you can do this. And go do it. And you give them the knowledge, the information, the tools, and the confidence to go do what needs to be done to build their business. Okay. So, I said this last week, the business is caught, not taught. So it's not just about teaching people what to do, as I said. It's about teaching people to teach people what to do. When you've done that, you've created duplication. I hope that makes sense, because when I got that and I realized this is yes, we have products, and yes, we have amazing compensation, and the products are amazing too. And I hate to use that word, but look, we have works. Okay, nobody disputes that. So what we have our hands on is incredible, but this is a teaching and training business. It's not a product business. So when we teach people to teach other people, that's when we don't have to be there anymore. That's when we've worked ourselves out of a job. And that's what duplication is, and that's what duplication does, is it enables us to work ourselves out of a job. And I will get more into this as time goes on. So that's maybe a hint that maybe these won't end on Friday or Saturday or Sunday, but at the event. So I've had some people ask to continue. So I would like to do this, because honestly, I get a lot out of it. So anyway, so I want to wrap it up. Again, we try to keep these short, and certainly want to do that today. Obviously, I already mentioned Randy Gage. Here's a great quote from Randy Gage that really pulled everything together from a duplication standpoint, and just drives the point home. Success without duplication is merely future failure in disguise. I don't know how better to say it than that, because if what we're doing can't be duplicated, then it's going to end and that's obviously the last thing we want to see. We want to have something that just keeps going on in perpetuity. So when we say, hey, we've got a willable, sellable, transferable business, we can actually will it and leave it to our children and our children's children. And that's the importance of what we're building here. So anyway, again, I appreciate it. I am so fired up about this event. Can't wait to see everybody starting tomorrow and Friday, obviously, as folks come in. Safe travels to everybody. And again, if for some reason, if you could not be there, then again, we'll Periscope what we can. It's going to be somewhat tied to battery life on the phone and things like that. And obviously, you know, just being able to tune into it at the same time. So, and make sure we're focused on what we're doing at the moment. So again, anyway, appreciate it. Excited about Friday, seeing y'all again. And on Periscope, and then again, obviously seeing everybody in person. So have an awesome day. Again, safe travels. We'll see y'all, and we'll talk with you in a couple days.